Hey, hi, welcome back to Besant Technologies. I'm delighted to welcome you to the comprehensive Playwright Automation course. Playwright, developed by Microsoft, is one of the most powerful modern automation frameworks for web application testing. It enables you automate Chromium, Firefox, and WebKit browsers using a single reliable API. Today, many leading product-based companies and MNCs use Playwright because of its speed and stability to rich feature set. In this course, you learn everything from ground up with hands-on projects and real-time examples. Let's get started.
Hi guys, welcome back to the session. In this session, in the previous session, we have checked about what are JavaScript data type, what are the variables, and what are the operators available in the JavaScript, right? So in this session, we are going to checking the things of what is control flow, what are the for loops and what are the loops are available, and what is array, what is function. All these are things we are going to check it on this session. So let's quickly jump into the things. So first we are going to see about what is control flow. Okay, so control flow is nothing but like which is the one which is used to execute the JavaScript program with some conditions, and if check some conditions, based on the condition it take the decision. Okay, so first let's see the concept so that you can understand the meaning of this particular flow means what. So let's quickly jump into that. First, we are going to check the things about what is if condition. Okay, so in the control flow, we are going to first check the if condition. So if condition is nothing but if you see the syntax, we have something called if. Okay, if is a keyword, and we have some conditions. For example, let's take some conditions like if you want to check the students of who are in the average grade. Okay, so how you can do, you can have like a fixed score of, let's imagine like the fixed score of average students, it seems like 80. So let's have like a condition of the student mark grade less than or equal to 80. So it means like if the student marks is 80 or less than 80, and you have to check the another condition which is called if the student mark is not great, not below than 50. Correct, that you have to check with the another condition. So if both the conditions get matched out, then you are decided that if the student is came to the average category, right? So to check like that conditions, these if conditions will be useful. For example, how it works now, let's see with some quick example. How you see here I'm having the example of let age equal to 20, which means I declared a variable of age with the initial value of 20. Then we are going to check about like we are checking if the particular age is greater than or equal to 18, which means the particular age which I am expecting the person need to be above 18 or 18. Okay, so I am checking this condition. When it comes to this condition, is this pass or is this fail? This condition get fail because I declare the age as 20. So while checking this condition will get this condition will get pass because the 20 is greater than 18, right? So it came to this eligible to vote. Okay, so let's quickly check this example with our online JS editor. So I'm just going to have like a if okay, first let's declare okay, let's just quickly see about without declaring the variable. I'm just going to have like a condition of let's have it like 4 greater than or equal to 5. Okay, which is the wrong condition. So first I'm going to have like a console.log of let's have something, let's have like a welcome or some message, some random message I'm going to have it. So here I'm just making the spelling corrected to console.log. So let's check it. Nothing will be printed because this condition is a false condition. So if I'm going to have it like a 14 into this, then now if I'm running this, you see this, it get printed. So if condition is the one which runs only if the condition gets satisfied. Okay, if the condition doesn't get satisfied, previously the condition doesn't get satisfied, so that's why it does even came into this block. Okay, so if the condition is get satisfied, then it come into the block. That's the main concept of the if condition. Okay, then we are just moving to the next one, which is called if else condition. If else condition is nothing but we can just take the same example. Now we have again we changed it into 4. Okay, now it doesn't receive any output, right? So if you are checking something, like you have to know is this there or it is not there, right? So the same thing goes on. So first it check if it is there, or if it is not there, then it comes to the else block. Okay, so in the else block, for example here I'm going to have like a console.log of not applicable and over in the top I'm just going to give like a applicable. Okay, so let's see what is happening now. Now it print applicable because, oh sorry, my bad, just giving it like this. Okay, now let's check it. So if you see give you not applicable. The reason it seems it has like a 4 greater than 5, which is the condition get failure there. But if you're having like a 14, the condition get pass, so you will get an applicable message. Okay, so this is the difference between if and the if else. So if is the one which checks only the condition, if else is the one which checks both the condition, sorry, if check like if the condition is passed, then it go to if block. If the condition is fails, then it go to the else block. That's the difference between if, sorry, that's a meaning of the if and else. If and else will be always combined together, but if you're using only if, it check condition and truncate off. Like if pass it works, if not it won't. If you're using if else, if that pass it came to the if condition, if doesn't pass it came to the else condition. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Now let's going to check for the next one. For that I need to declare a variable, so I'm just getting into here, and in the top I'm going to declare it like var stu mark. I'm just going to declare some variable, and the variable I'm just going to give it like 50 for now. Okay, then we're just going to have like if condition changed into student mark, and we can have it like a student mark greater than, sorry, less than or equal to 50. Let's have it like a 20, 30. Okay, fine. Then they will get fail. Or I can have like a else if condition, which means it check two conditions. Like once it's get failed, it came to the else if block. Once that get also failed, it came to the else next else if block is available. It goes like a, so first to check one thing, it fails, it go to the second option of checking. Then it is also fail, it goes to the last option, which is dead. As like that it goes. Okay, so first we are going to check if the students is fail or not. So and then we are going to check if the students is came to the average category or not. So let's check it like this. Here I'm going to have like student mark less than or equal to 50, and here I have to again check if the student's mark is greater than 30, because if it is not greater than 30 also, they not came into the average category, they came into the, sorry, if it is less than 30 they came into the fail category, right? So I have to check it like student mark less than or equal to, sorry, greater than or equal to 30. So the first condition will check if it is less than, I need to check only greater than. So if it is 30 or less than 30, it get fail because that is marked as fail. It is like, it is under like 10 to 30, any one number. Then came to this, it just check if it is above 30, it shouldn't be 30. If it is above 30, from 31 to until 50, whatever the things come, it came into this condition. So here I'm just marking it as like a average. Then it does even came to any of this, which is came to the else condition part, which I'm having it like a console.log of let's have like a pause. Let's have like a A1. Let's have it like this. Okay, so let's check how this thing's working now. How you see it came to average because it is not less than 30. I mean it is greater than 30, and it is also less than 50. So it came into this category. If I'm just changing this to 90, then what happened? It first condition will get fail. Sorry, here I need to have it like console.log, spelling mistake. Okay, so the first condition will get fail, and second condition also it get fail. So it doesn't lie on these two categories. So it came to the last category, which is like A1 category. Okay, so if I'm going to have it like a 20 here, if you see this, it came to this category because this came under like below 30. Okay, so here the major difference, it seems like first it have to be checked like if it is like a first its condition is satisfied. It's like a block. So first it check this block, it's satisfied, it doesn't, so it get ignoring it. then it comes to the else if block, so it gets satisfied or not. It doesn't, then it good ignoring it, then it came to the else block. So it check one by one, and if nothing is possible, it came to the else block. If everything, if like anything, any one is get possible, it came to that block and it process that thing and it do the stuffs. Okay, so this is a concept of if else if. Okay, now let's check on to the next concept, which is called switch statement. Are going to check about like okay, let's take the same example, but in switch statement here in the if else you are checking like a condition by condition, right? But in switch statement you can't check like a condition by condition. You can able to only check if the particular thing is there, then this one. If it is not, it is not. Okay, let's go with the examples route. I'm just going to have it like I'm just going to delete this stuff, so I'm going to declare this switch. So for a quick one, let me just get the example from here. I'm just going to copy the same thing and I'm going to paste it over here. Okay, so let's just correct the stuffs. Like I'm just going to remove each and everything over in this, and I'm just going to have it like I'm just going to format it. Okay, so let's have it this way. So here if you see, I'm just declaring a variable which is 2, and in the switch I'm just passing the particular variable as my check thing. I mean, I'm going to check this, so I'm just going to pass it over here. Okay, so here in the case 1, it is not like a case 1. For example, let me have it like a hard 10. Okay, so this is the thing which is like it checks if the day equal to 10. It is equal to 10, it came to the Monday. It is not equal to 10, then it came to the default one. So let's see what is happening now. Now it see, it shows like an invalid day. But if I keep to 1 also, it came to the invalid day because the day is 2. So it check exactly the equal to condition alone in this. You can't check the condition in this switch statement. Okay, so if I just want to check it like a case 2, I'm just going to have it like a case 2. Case 2 is nothing but it checks like day equal to 2, nothing else. Okay, so and if going to have it this one, which is this console, and let me change this to Tuesday. And if you want to run this now, you will see this one. So switch statement will work in the way where it just check only one value with one value. It just compare the one value with one value, that too with the equal to, not with the anything else. Okay, so that's why we are not using switch case for the comparison thing. We are using the if else statement. So for comparison you can use the switch case, but it is going to be like this. If you want to have like a, you have to with the number, you have to get like this number on belongs to which date, like this. For example here 2, I'm just saying like a Tuesday. So the second day in the week is called Tuesday. So I can use like this based on the things and based on the conditions if you want to applicable to. Okay, the switch case is nothing but it just get one value and it check based on that value with the each and every cases with equal to operator on it. Okay, well, that's a simple thing on switch statement. And let's quickly jump into the document and let's just quickly go through what are the things which we checked it seems like correct. I'm just going to have this in the full slideshow. Let's check in this. So if we checked on like what is if condition. If condition is the one which just execute only when the condition is true, correct? If else is the one like it just have like a 2 block. If the condition is true, it get into that. If the condition is not true, it get into the else block. And we have like a switch one, which is nothing but it is just check one block for a multiple option. So I just told you, right, like if you have like a 1, then it's just like that particular value is belong to the case 1 case equal to that particular case value, or the case 2, case 3, case 4. If doesn't comes to any of this, it came to the default one. And we have like the if else if is missing in this, but the if else if is the one which works as pretty much as switch case. But in the if else if, it's going to have like a conditional check. Like if one condition fails, it came to the next condition and next condition. There you can able to have the condition, but in the switch you can't able to have the condition. That's the difference between if else and switch. So okay, let's quickly see the difference alone. For example, here I'm just going to have it like a 1 Okay, let's take it like this. Let's take it like a day, which is coming thing. I'm just going to have it like a greater than or equal to 2. Sorry. Which means the 2 get equal to here, right? But it doesn't come to this condition. Let's have it like a 5. Okay, the 5 is also came to this condition if it is greater than, correct now. But it doesn't come to the condition. Let's see. Because it doesn't have these conditions, like this stuff will be checked in the particular switch statement. Let's check about what are the loop statements which are available in the JavaScript and how we are going to use it. Basically, we have like a 2 base type of loop statement, whereas like a entry level loop statement and exit level loop statement. The entry level loop statement seems like for loop and the while loop. Okay, and the exit level it seems like a do while loop. So before getting into all this conceptual, first let's see each and every loop one by one, so that you will get an idea of why we are calling this as an entry loop and why we are calling this as an exit loop. Okay, so let's quickly jump into the things, and now I'm just going to delete this example, and I'm going to have like a simple for loop statement where I'm going to have like a for where I equal to 0. Basically, for loop statement, the syntax will be split up like this. First you have to declare the keyword called for, and you have to first initialize the value. The first one is the initialization, where I have to have like a where I equal to 0. For now I'm just declaring this thing, and I'm going to use the same variable to have the condition. So I'm just going to have it like a where I greater than or equal to 5. Sorry, I less than or equal to 5. I need to give it like I greater than or equal to 5. Then once it's done, then I'm going to have like a I plus plus. So this is like a condition, this is like a increment operator. Okay, so once I given all this, then I have to have, I'm just going to have like a console.log of, I'm going to have it only I. Okay, so now let's just print this and let's see what is happening. Oh sorry, I think I need to give it like this. Okay, because a greater than condition will not came through, so I given the less than condition, which means like, so how it works abdina, let's take it like this. So first it comes like a I equal to 0, right? So it just check the condition 1. So what's the condition here? I greater than or equal to 5. So you check it like 0 less than or equal to 5, which means the 5 is not greater than this 0. 5 is the less than 0, right? So this condition gets satisfied, and it just come into the loop which is inside this, and it print you this one, this 0. Okay, wow. So what is print the 0, then it again make it incremented using like I plus plus, which is that the 0 I equal to I plus 1. So here is going to be like a 0 I equal to 0 plus 1. So it goes to like I equal to 1. So once the first thing is, first it initialized to 0, it checking the condition. Once the condition is been checked, it just started executing this block, which is this under this block, which is that under that open curly bracket and close curly bracket. It execute this one. After executing it, it start incrementing it with plus 1. Once it incremented, the particular value gets stored into the same variable, which is like I equal to 1. Now I became 1 in the first iteration. Okay, then it came to the next iteration. Next iteration also goes the same stuff like this. So in this iteration, I'm just going to copy paste it. I'm just going to showcase you that. So here what happened now, it just have like a 1 now, and it checks like 1 less than or equal to 5. A condition satisfied, so it just make this I plus 1, so which is like 1 plus 1, then it becomes 2. So same as like this, so this loops will go to until 5. So when it coming to 5, what happened? So it happened like 5 greater than or equal, less than or equal to 5. So it means the condition also satisfies here. So that's why it just increment this until 6. Okay, wow. So what happened, this I will become 6 now. Then once this became 6, then now let's just have like a condition again, recheck it, condition 6 less than or equal to 5, where the condition get failed, so the loop will get exit. So that's why here it printed from 0 to 5. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Until this 5 it get printed. When it come to 6, the condition will get failed, so it get exit. So basically for loop is the one which makes a iteration process. The iteration happen based on the condition. Until the condition satisfies, it just increase the number one by one and the process continues. Once the conditions get failed, the process it get stopped. Okay, so mainly these things can be used on the operations, like if you're going to check for the 50 students, I need to iterate one by one, right? So I need to go one by one student and I'm checking all the informations. So for those purposes you can use these things. Okay, so this is basically like a for loop will work like a iteration process, like it works like a repeated process continuously based on the condition. Until this condition satisfies, I'm doing the things. Okay, wow. So this is about the for loop. Let's check about how the while loop works. Okay, so for the while loop thing, the same as for loop, the while loop also is going to work, but for the while loop just going to have like a syntactual change. First let's take a quick example of the while loop from here. Let's just make the syntax alone copied. Okay, so let's just copy the syntax alone and I'm going to paste the syntax over here. So here we are declared the variable inside it, right? So now I have to declare the variable or in the outside. First I declare the variable in one place, then as like if condition I'm going to check the condition. So I'm going to have this condition over after the while. Okay, then once this is there, then I'm going to have my execution block inside this one. Then I'm going to have this increment at the time of execution done. So this is same as for loop, but for the for loop you have to have everything in the start, but in the while loop you are going to have it everything in the format like this. First you are going to initialize a variable in the top, then with the while you have to have like a I less than or equal to 5 where the condition goes on, then it comes to the console log and it I plus plus. This is like more user readable one, so that this will be accessible and this will be easy to understand as well. So we are using the while loop in these cases, and let's run these things. So it will also return me the same stuff. So it is also going like a same stuff as how I say check it before. Like for the for loop it goes like first 0 comes, then it checks 0 less than or equal to 5, satisfies, console log of 0 1, then 1 less than or equal to 5, so it goes until 5 and it want it commit to 5, 5 plus 1 6, then it coming to this one like 6 less than or equal to 5, it get failed, then the loop stops. Okay, so the difference between the for loop and while loop, it seems like only the syntax get different, not nothing else. Okay, so this is about the while loop concept, and let's quickly check for the do while loop. So do while loop is the one which is like a exit level loop, right? So do while loop will work in a way where, for example, okay, let's quickly get the syntax from here. I'm just going to take this syntax and let's going to try the same example of the syntax. So I'm going to have like a do. So do while is the one will work like first it executes something and it checks the condition. So the initial execution will won't check the condition at any case. After all the execution will check the condition. That is the main purpose of this do while. That is why we are calling that for loop and while loop is a entry check looping system, which means like at the time of entering inside itself it's checking the condition. But do while is the one, it's a exit looping system, which is that at the time of exit we are checking the condition. Okay, that's the only one difference. So here also I'm going to declare a variable same as like that, and I'm going to have this condition over in this place. I'm going to have this console.log over here, and I'm going to have my increment value also over here. Okay, so let's quickly check it how it's process. It also going to return you the same. So the iteration process are going to be same. It's just like where we are checking the conditions. Okay, for example, if I'm not declare anything here, it just return you the undefined. Okay, is not defined, which means like the for and while loop will have the condition check in the initial, then only it allows you to execute the block at least for once. but the do while loop will be like a exit level condition, like which means it first execute this once, then it started checking the conditions. Okay, before that it doesn't checking the conditions at all. Okay, that's the difference between this for while and the do while. Okay, so let's quickly I think it started running in much more different, so let me just refresh page. I think sometime when you're using this online JS editor, it make like a stuck in sometime. You just let it go in this way. So we'll wait until it get run. So it's going to return to the same stuff. It doesn't having much of things in it. Okay, so it's been completed. Now we are done with the for loops. Now until this we have covered like what are the conditional statement and what are the looping statements. So conditional statements are nothing but if else, switch statements are the conditional statement where we are checking the conditional and processing the things. And same as goes for the looping statement, it's just making the iteration process based on the condition. Those are like for loop, while loop and the do while loop. So all these stuffs we have covered, and all these stuffs have been combined as called as a control statements, where it controls the operation based on something like conditions and doing the stuff. Okay, well, now let's say jump into the next part of the things, which is called at the time of defining the data types. I told you, right, we have like a two different data types. One is like primitive data type and the non-primitive data type. Non-primitive data types we just check at the time with the simple things and what is what. Now we are going to make those things in a brief level. So first let's start with the function declaration. So non-primitive data type we have like a three types, right? One is like a function, array and the object. So in this first we are going to check about like what are the functions. So basically the function I told you in that day itself, right? So for the functions it seems like we have okay, what's the main purpose of function abdina? The function is the one which is used to avoid the reusability. I mean, which is used to avoid the redeclaration and stuff. For example, if you want to make the additional process, okay, and I have to addition for the 50 students, what I have to do for each and every 50 students, I have to declare one variable and I have to do like student that student mark 1 plus student mark 2, student 2 mark 1 plus student 2 mark 2, like that it goes, right? So instead of like this, I just declare the additional procedure in the function and I'm just calling the function as student mark of mark 1 comma mark 2, mark 2 comma mark 3. I just have like this to make the process in. So the function is the one where it has like a reusability stuff, which means like wherever I am making the code repeatedly used, I just declare this as a single procedure, single function, and I can make the function just get the function call alone wherever I want with passing the values dynamically into it. Okay, so first just see the example so that you will understand these things which I mean to told. Have you see here we have this stuff, right? So I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to the online editor. I'm just going to delete everything in this. I'm going to have these things. If I run this, see, it returned me this way. Okay, wow. So let's change this to a additional function. I'm just changing it to add, and I'm just doing currently with the console.log of let's have like a 10 plus 20. Okay, now it returned me that you have to use this function name to call the function. I'm just using that add. So if I call, I return 30, right? So if I want to make the process dynamically, for example, I want to check it for 10 comma 20, 20 comma 50. I need to check it for 3 to 4 cases. Then what can I do? I can have like a 10 comma 20 paused here. These are called arguments and we are receiving here, it's called like a parameter. Okay, so here if I'm going to have like a stuff of, I'm just going to give the name of A comma B. Here the position is important. This first position is 10, then it takes the value of the A. Second position is 20, it takes the value of the V. So the position declaration is very important while you are using the parameter method. Okay, well, so if I'm going to have it like A plus B, so it going to return me the same stuff. So if I want to check it for a different number, for example, if I want to check it for 20 plus 20, I can have it like this. As you see, if you want multiple n number of things, you can have it. For example, if I'm going to have it for 60 plus 20. I'm having it in this way. Okay, so it goes like this. So wherever you want it, you just need to call the function and you just need to pass this relative stuff into it. So here the declaration part is very important, that you have to be make sure. Okay, let's quickly jump into this and let's check what is these things in the conceptual wise. So here, as you see, I told, right, we have like a parameter and the declaration. So sorry, I think I mean, yeah, I'll correct only. So here the parameters and stuff seem like which is going to be declared in the function, where I'm going to initialize with some variable like a or b, wherever we declared it here, right? These are called as parameters, these are called as arguments. Okay, so here the passing the value to the parameter is called as argument, nothing else. So here the a and b, which is called as parameter, where I declare it in the function initialization to get this a for 10 and b for this 20. Here it goes like 20 for a and 20 for b, 60 for a and 20 for b. So it goes like this. So that's why we are calling, the technical name of this, seems like this is a parameter and this we are calling as a argument. Okay, so this is like a functional thing, and function you can able to declare it. So I told you this method, like where this is a very common method and very old method as too. So here you can have like a function and you have to have like a function name and you have to have the parameters declared, and you can use the parameters paused and using the function name called, right? So if you want like this function can be declared as like how we have like a variable const and I'm having the things called add equal to, I just have like a function on bracket close bracket, I can have it like this. So this is also, it's considered a function declaration. So this we just say like it just call the function and it return the value to the variable. So it just call the function, it return the value to the variable add. Okay, so here also this is going to be the same stuff. So I'm just going to use it like this. This is nothing but how we are declaring the function. The function declaration can be in the different forms. Okay, if I'm going to remove this and I'm going to have the same stuff, it will run and execute the same thing. This is just like another method of defining the function. Okay, now if we have another method which is called arrow method, where if I don't want to give this function, you have to use the arrow method. Okay, if you don't want to give the function keyword, you have to use this arrow method. Okay, well, if I run this, it's going to return you the same stuff. Okay, so it's all basically like a different way of declaring the function. So that's what I'm giving, but the name of these things, it seems like the previous one which you are declaring is normal function declaration. This is called as functional expression. Okay, then when coming to, okay, but these two will get different based on the hoisting. Arrow method is something I told you, right? You just want to ignore the function, you have to have it, you can have it in the arrow method, nothing else. Okay, then these are basically like differs based on the hoisting. Hoisting is nothing but okay, let's check these things. If I'm having it like this, okay, and if I make the call, if I'm having the functional expression notation and I'm making the call before this, but all this in the same page, okay, wow, but I'm making it, it throw you that it is not defined, or it shows like before initialization you are calling this. Okay, but if I had the same, I'm just going to make it comment out. Sorry, I'm just going to have it and I'm just going to make it comment out. And now I've just had it like a function add of a comma b. Yeah, I'm just going to have like a previous stuff. So I'm just going to have these things in place. I'm just going to copy and paste it here. So if you run this now, it will execute, because this function declaration wouldn't consider the place of getting these things. It's only check it is present or not. Okay, but this expression will consider the place of calling and place of declaration. That is, we are calling as a hoisting. Okay, that's what I just given you the difference between like how the function declaration it get differed between the functional expression. So accessibility and after declaration, which is like I have to declare and you have to, after the declaration only you get able to have the stuffs in the place. You can able to have the call. Before declaration you can't have it. Okay, wow. So these are the things which are about the functions. The functions is basically like it is used for the reusability purpose. How we use the additional operations. If you want to perform the additional operation with different numbers, you have to use this like a plus b again, and how to declare c plus d again. So instead of doing all the stuff, you are just simply doing the stuff like this. Okay, wow. Now let's go to the next one. Now let's quickly check on what is array method. So we have something called array which we checked it before, right? So the array is nothing but which holds the same primitive data types in it. For example, we have like a string of let's take like a 50 student name, and I'm having like a student name 1 2 3 4 in the array format in the square bracket with the comma separated in it, correct? So as same way we can have the that is called as array. Array is the one which holds a same data types of multiple values in it. Okay, for example, let's take it like let's remove this stuff and let's have it like where students equal to, I'm having like Ram, and I'm having like Sam. Okay, now if I make it console log, like I'm just going to console.log of students. So I'm just going to have it this copy pasted, and if you run this, it will return you the array. So it is like I'm having two names in a single array with the comma separation. This both need to be in the same data type. Okay, wow. So if I'm going to have it like for example, here we having some of the methods to have the array. So here for seems like I'm having like a Ram and Sam, I want to include another name into the same array. How I can able to do it? So these are the methods are useful to do some of the operations on the array. Okay, so let's quickly check what are the methods which are there. First, let's start with the push method. Push method is nothing but it's going to be like for example, here I'm just going to have like a student dot push students dot push. Okay, so I'm just going to remove this students dot push, and I'm just going to have the data types which is called something like Kiran. Okay, now let's see what is happening. Have you see the push is the one method which just add the data to the last of the array. Okay, as similar to push we have something called pop. How the push added the data to the last of the array, right? It just remove the data from the last index of the array. So if I'm having it like same things, I'm just going to copy paste this. If I'm adding like a students dot pop, first it added the data it added the data Kiran. I'm just going to have a console log like this. If you see the difference, let's see. First it added the Kiran using the push method, and while using the pop method it just remove the Kiran and it shows you like a empty. So push is like adding the value to the array to the last index, and pop is like it just delete the value from the array, that too in the last index. Okay, wow. Then we have something called shift. So as like push and pop, push things will remove the value, push is add the value to the last, and pop will remove the value from the last. This unshift is the one which add the value to the start, and shift is the one which removes the value from the start. So let's see the same example here. So I'm just going to make it like a unshift, and here I'm going to have it like a shift. Let's see. It added the name in the start, the same name Kiran in the start, and this shift method will remove the Kiran in the start. Okay, this is just like opposite things of a push and pop, nothing else. Okay, then we have something called length method to get the length of the array. This array dot length will be useful to make the iteration process. For example, I need to make an iteration for these students. I can get the array length and I can use like a I less than or equal to that length, correct? So to make the iteration of the particular students. Okay, so now let's have these things like I'm just going to have it like let's have a simple console log. Students is my array, so I'm just going to have it like a students dot length, length. Okay, so I'm just making the spellings corrected. Yeah, if I run this, I'll just get the 2 because 1 2 I'm just having like 2 value in the array, so it return me the 2. So these are the types of array. What are the objects and what are the methods of objects are available? So as I already told you, right, we have like a 3 non-primitive data types. One is function, array and objects. Already we have checked about what are the functions and what are the array and array methods. Now we are going to check about what are the objects and object method. Basically object is the one which have like a key value pair in it. Okay, so first let me showcase to you what is the object means. Example, here I'm going to have the same example. In array I can declare it like 1 by 1 value, right? So in the object you can have it in the way where, so here I'm just going to have it like a name. For example, if I'm going to have like a students, I can have it like a name, then student name rom, and I can going to declare like a mark. I'm going to have it like 90. So I can have like a multiple values with the key value structure. Key value structure is nothing but this is the key and this is the value. The reason I'm calling this as a key value structure, for example, I want to get the name from the object, then I have to call the key which is that this name to get my name. Okay, have you written, see this, it returned me the ram, it get me the value. So if I have this reference and I call this name, I mean I'm using the name as a reference key value to call the object, then it returns a particular value to me. With the key only we can able to identify the value. Okay, as simply. So here if I want to get the mark, I need to give it like a mark. Okay, so this is nothing but the objects are. Now let's quickly check about what are the methods in the objects is there. So basically like we have a object methods to have like a console log on many. So if we have like a object dot keys, for example, if I'm going to have like a student dot keys, it return me what are the, sorry, I need to have it. Okay, the syntax is wrong, I need to pause it like object. This object is a keyword. Object dot keys of, I need to pass this object into it. If you pass this object, I told you that it is in the key value structure, so you will get all the key which are available in the particular object. Same as like if you need to get the values, you have to use, instead of key you have to use like a values. If you run this, it will return you all the values of the object. Okay, wow. So this is nothing but the keys and values, and the entries is nothing but it just give you the key value pair in the array. Let's check these things. The entries, as we see, it will give you like a key value. It will return you in the array format. Okay, now we have like something assign. How in the which thing, like how in the array we are just using the push method to push something into an array, right? So here we are having something called assign method to assign something to an object. For example, let me take like let me want to add another variable into this. Okay, so let me quickly take this syntax from here. Okay, let's use this itself. Let's just remove this console.log from now, or let's have this console.log and let's assign it before. Okay, so that you can see the difference. So I'm just having like a object dot assign. I need to declare the object name in the first and the new object in the second. So I'm having the object name in the first, then I have to declare the new object, which is that I'm going to add it inside. And I'm going to add it like character. I'm just giving like a good. If I run this stuff, you will see this character get added into this. So it means like I initialized with some default value, and if I want to add the additional value into the object at the running time, then I had to use this method which is called assign to add extra object into the same particular object. Okay, well, I mean extra values into the same particular object. And this has on property is the method which just used to check is the particular property is present or not. Okay, so let's quickly check these things in. Now I'm going to have like okay, let me check the syntax once. Yeah, so we need to have it like let me just check these things. And first you need to have the object name for which you are going to have check this thing. So I'm going to have like a students has own property. I'm going to copy paste it. You have to pause which property you have to check. So I have to check this name is present or not. If I check this, it return me the true because the name is the one which is present. If I check some random things, it returns me false because that is not there in the particular object. Okay, so this things is just to check if the particular key exists in the object or not. Okay, wow. So yeah, I think this is something about object, and I had like okay, these are the things about the objects. Okay, so objects is the one which is used. I already told you, like if you want to have like a multiple values into the single variable or a single thing, you can use object to have the stuff. How we are having it here, right? With like students, we are having like a name, mark, and stuffs like that. So you can have it in this way. So in this session, we just I'll just summarize you what are the things which we checked it. We just checked about what are the conditional statements which are available, and what are the loop statements which are available, and we checked about the non-primitive data types of array methods and object methods, and what are the functions and types of function declarations. So in the next section, we will check about the rest of the steps of the JavaScript. Thank you.